Today we will be learning about renewable and non-renewable resources. Our learning targets for today are: I can differentiate between renewable and non-renewable resources, and I can classify resources as renewable or non-renewable. Let's get started. Look at this picture. What do all of these items have in common? Yes, they're things that you might find in your house, but more importantly, they all take energy to operate. If we did not have a source of energy to operate our appliances, we would be in the dark. In order to get that energy that we use to power things in our homes, we need resources. And resources are classified into two groups: renewable resources and non-renewable resources. What does this mean? Well, we know that energy is all around us in nature. Some sources of energy will never run out, so that energy is not known as renewable energy. That makes sense because we know the word new means something's new. Renew means new again. Other sources of energy are available in specific amounts and will not regenerate, so they make non-renewable energy. It is an energy from a source that will run out. When we have renewable energy, we can get these forms of energy again from resources that will never run out. For example, biomass, wind, water, geothermal, and solar. This is also known as green energy because they tend to be clean sources of energy. Another source of energy is non-renewable energy. These are things such as coal, petroleum, natural gas, and propane. They're also known as fossil fuels because of the way they were formed. Now, most of our energy from our house comes from non-renewable energy. This is sometimes a problem because non-renewable energy can sometimes cause problems in the environment, such as potentially harmful chemicals that get into the air and into our water. Also, the thinking is that we will run out of a lot of our non-renewable energies within about 50 years. Because non-renewable resources can be a problem and cause problems within our environment and even cause things such as global warming, we would like to learn more about renewable energy sources in order to save our planet. So, renewable resources are resources that can be replaced in a few years or decades at about the same rate they are being used. Non-renewable resources are resources that are being used up faster than they can be replaced. The resources can take anywhere from hundreds to millions of years to regenerate, and in some cases, they never will. So we're going to look at some of these resources, such as water, oil, sun, geothermal, coal, natural gas, and wind, and determine if they are renewable or non-renewable. The first one is water. Now, our planet is covered in mostly water because of our oceans. This is a resource because of our water cycle that will not run out, so it is considered a renewable resource. The second one is oil. Now, oil is taken from the ground. It is considered a fossil fuel, and it took millions of years to form. Because it took millions of years to form, if we use it all, we won't get it back, not for millions of years. So that is considered non-renewable. Now the sun or solar energy, again, we can't use up all of that energy, so that would be considered renewable. Geothermal means energy that's produced by the planet itself. It comes from underneath. So we can tap into that geothermal energy to do things like power homes, heat our homes, and that is another one, because it's produced by the planet, that's considered renewable. Coal. Coal is another type of fossil fuel that was formed from plants millions and millions of years ago. So because it was formed over millions of years, it would be very hard to replace it once we used it up, at least again, not for millions of years more. So that is considered non-renewable. Natural gas is another fossil fuel. So just like oil and coal, once it's used up, it's gone. So that would be considered non-renewable. The last one we have is wind. Wind is considered a renewable energy because, well, wind happens every day, so we won't run out. That would be considered renewable energy. Let's stop and think about what we've learned. Why is it important to try to use as many renewable resources as possible? Well, we talked about how non-renewable energies will probably run out in about 50 years. So what happens then? We need to start using renewable resources so we do not run out of ways to power the energy that we need. 2. Name all 5 renewable energy resources and give a brief description of each. Okay, we have geothermal energy, we have wind energy, we have water energy, we have solar energy, and one that I didn't talk about before is called biomass. Biomass is energy that we get from plants. And if we look at the picture down here, look at this. This is geothermal, energy from the planet, wind in this windmill. They're burning wood, and since wood is a renewable material because we can plant trees and get wood again, this would be considered water. And finally, this is solar or sun energy. Now that we learned the difference between renewable and non-renewable resources, in your science notebook, draw a T-chart. T-chart. On one side, label it renewable, with better handwriting, please. And on the other side of the T-chart, non-renewable. Oops, I'm running out of space. Then, under the proper heading, write all the ways that you use renewable energy in your day, and then on this side, all the ways you use non-renewable energy. Have fun!